There we go. We should be on now.
Selling those apples.
What?
Remember that?
What?
The Hershey's Golden Apple?
Oh.
I'm guessing someone at the company mentioned the mythical side of things. Like, I'm not sure we should be producing this. Yes, you should. Come on, let people prank each other. It's funny.
Oh.
I was gonna get one and put it in my office labeled "To the Fairest." And listen to people fight over it. Alrighty then.
If you would please confirm that we are on.
Square inch. I think we are. I saw a brief image and now there's an ad.
That probably means we're on. But just to be sure, I will wait until after the ad has finished playing for you.
Go home, advertisement. You're drunk. Amazon. Do we even really need to advertise anymore? I mean, think about it. Yes, we are on.
Very good.
It briefly froze on top of itself because Twitch is silly. But, yeah, we do seem to be on. Should I check the audio? Whoa.
Audio should be fine, but it would be a good idea. It would be wise to do so.
I'm checking Mexican audio.
We're not Mexican. We're far too north for that.
Well, yes, but I don't know where these headphones are made.
That's true. It's probably China, though.
Yeah, that sounds decent.
Okay, cool.
I can hear most of the things.
So, good evening, Internet. It is 8:12 p.m. on Saturday, May 11th, 2019. This is Throne of Games. I'm your host, Mark Amsright, DJ Amstrack. That's Daniel.
Hello.
And tonight we are going to be continuing 2 Point Hospital. Last time we just barely set foot in Tumble. We don't even have any proper hospital rooms set up yet. Excuse me.
And we have a new mechanic to deal with.
Yes.
Tumble's effing cold, so we have radiators.
Yep. So, yeah, that,
We've got a new staff member. It's this really hot radiator woman from the Radiator Planet.
and we also have to deal with fractures in Tumble, which is a new mechanic. Let's get this started.
It's a new type of... does physical trauma count as an illness?
An ailment, perhaps? Thanks, Lord Bobry.
A new thing to treat. I presume the treatment is simple enough, but we may have X-ray machines now?
Maybe?
For diagnosis? Because broken bones are really easy to fix. You just set it and forget it. Then a few months later, after it's repaired itself, you take the cast, you take whatever's holding it from wiggling around off, and then send the patient to physical therapy to get their strength back. Because, you know, in the meantime, their surrounding muscles have been not in use. cold and people are always falling off of it.
No, I wonder if maybe this shouldn't have been reception.
It's such a central
Right
zone.
here.
A weirdly central helipad.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that's centered.
There you go. Now you're ready to receive helicopters. I suppose we want to ensure this area is warm now.
Yes.
It's presently very cold. I think the game needs the ability to select a bunch of benches at once and move them as a unit.
I wonder if I can do that, actually.
Box select of multiple objects.
Yeah.
Control select? Oh, no. Not the way you grab things with that hammer.
Yeah.
Oops!
Oh, whoops. Actually, given that, maybe I should have these over here.
What kind of radiators do you think these are? Well, steam.
Beats me. I don't know how radiators work. Do I look like I grew up in the north?
You don't have to grow up in the north to know about how radiators work. You just have to have accidentally run into a YouTube video about how radiators work.
There we go.
And now, cats startling each other. As I'm sure that was all completely audible.
Oh, it might actually be too hot right about there.
Yeah, space radiators, yep.
Spacer heaters.
But that's like around the corner.
Yeah.
In fact, the core of your issue may be that the two radiators you have flanking your reception zone are too close to begin with. So let's put that radiator a few tiles to the left.
Yeah, that actually looks pretty cozy right there. Yeah, that looks nice.
Ooh, Luminary Maximum.
Hello.
Are you prepared for intense hospital management action?
Are you prepared to be hospitalized?
You shouldn't threaten your viewers. Oh, corners are great places for radiators, of course. Radiators have, like, circular areas of effect, most of which are wasted because they go up against walls. If you put them on corners... I see the sneakies.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Obviously, they'd work best if put in the middle of the room, but that's a stupid idea. Maybe it's something you put it up on? I don't know, it still sounds dumb. It's slightly more dangerous. Radiators falling over can be kind of slicey. People have been known to lose digits. Or at least needing to have digits reattached because the radiator fell on them.
Okay, so starting with the GP. It's probably a thing we want to do.
On the note of being hospitalized, someone is going to flee for their life.
No, I didn't mean to scare off viewers. I'm sorry.
I warned you about threatening your viewers.
Told you, dog.
I told your dog.
I don't have a dog.
Uh-oh. I'll be right back. What did I tell? Turns out it's a dishwasher.
How did you mistake the dishwasher for a dog? You have a slow leak. Why so minor key Loituma?
I was mostly trying to slow it down.
You kind of turned it into a dirge there.
You know, leak spin. Slow leak.
Wow.
Oh, here's a fun question. Do radiators work through walls?
We'll find out soon.
In reality, the answer is yes, but poorly. But in game?
In game, the answer may also be yes, but poorly.
Would you attach a radiator to the wall? Does that heat the whole wall, expanding your radiating surface? What if you fill a wall with loose steam, turning the whole wall into a radiator? Is that safe? No, it's not. Can you imagine if the wall got punctured?
That would probably be bad.
You just have like steam angrily ripping across the hall,
Ripping steam.
condensing on things and dumping huge amounts of energy into them so that they almost catch on fire except for the fact that they're wet.
Let's get a plamp in here.
Gold points offers. They're 2 gold pieces.
In.
Your gold points are your hit points. You mean gold pieces? Oh, I'm sorry, I messed that up. Here, I'll start again. Highwayman goes back across the street and hides behind a rock again. An unseen voice yells, "From the top!"
Okay, there was something else I was going to put in here. And I guess I can put a clock in here.
Was it a radiator?
Actually, I was going to save the radiator until after I had, like, established the room so I could see how the patterns worked. Filled room. It looks about like you said. It does go through walls, but poorly. There's the radiator. There we go. Now the GP's office is toasty warm.
Why did you put that radiator against the wall on the outside? Not the outside. I mean,
No, I know. I know what you mean. Well,
I'm wondering how much.
let me make some room.
But no, I mean like from the outside.
Oh, from the outside.
From like the hall.
Okay, I was going to.
But specifically thinking of the lock on the right place to shut the test.
I was going to set it right here and see how it spilled out, which is only a little bit.
Huh. So if you put it against the right interior wall there,
Like right here.
I mean, it's the other phrase to rotate everything again.
Oh, okay. So, which?
Where's the
Oh, okay. Well, you see, the thing is, I was going to put.
I was curious about how it spilled it in. Oh, wow.
It does not.
That is demonstrative. That's demonstrative. Interesting. Ah, the ice toilets. I think I'll call them Lou Gehrig's. Yeah, because of the Ice Bucket Challenge in bathrooms.
No.
Maybe I should call them Gehrig Blues.
Boo. Actually, wait.
Apparently you don't get radiator prognostication.
Radiator prognostication?
Yeah, it's not showing you how the radiator will warm the room until, I guess, the room will.
Oh, huh.
Will room the warm until the warm. Oh boy. Yeah. Three toilets, 2 sinks. 3 toilets, 2 sinks. Google God.
Well, if I put the hand dryer right there, I can still fit one more. Invalid item for room? What?
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
It was being weird.
There we go.
That's actually a really good place for the hand dryer. It's right next to the trash can.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. What?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I realized I was thinking about, like, cheese dryer.
Do you need a drink on your bed?
Yeah, this one's about empty.
Okay, what do you want?
Another one of these? Cherry cola?
Here, you want root beer?
Hmm. Sure, let's have a root beer.
Whatever you want.
I wonder if there's a,
Barks has bite.
I wonder if they
Thank
bothered
you.
with the mechanic of the radiators being dangerous to be near trash cans. I'll bet not.
Yeah, I hope
It'd be
not.
funny if the trash can caught fire.
It would be unfortunate.
It'd be a real garbage fire.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I should also have a general diagnosis. Why am I scrolling down that far? That's all locked stuff.
That's a question.
Oh, Remy. She's such a little fluff pile.
Examination bin.
Examination bin?
Medicine scan. Easy cabinet.
Wait, what?
What? Cell invalid. What's happening? What is... What?
Oh, stop that. What?
That got weird.
Yeah, I think it just got placed funny and it didn't know what to do with it.
Why is that thing in purple?
What thing in purple?
Spin around. Your easy scan's looking kind of perp.
It is. Nurse required? Maybe it's because there's nobody to operate it?
Maybe. You're in thermal view presently, so Are there other views where it shows up weird? It's not thirsty, it's not a toilet.
It's not bored.
Bored. Disconnected staff energy.
Health. Attractiveness. That's it. Maybe it just generates a tiny bit of heat on its own?
I love how the attractiveness of the plant in Office Over is leaking through the hallway and through that wall. And so, oh wait, no, it's a picture.
Yeah.
Never mind. Though there is some attractiveness of the plant in picture leaking through to the outside of the wall.
Yeah.
Just goofy.
Okay, let's build a bone zone. Oh, that amuses me more than it should.
This person's broken some bones on falling off a thing. Quick, get them to the bone zone.
Ah. Oh, this place is ridiculous. Full of implements of torture, it looks like. I realize it's not, but...
I think there's some sort of traction.
Yeah, yes.
And an X-ray machine.
Huh.
I think the door would be opening into another door.
No, it just doesn't like it for corners.
Probably something to do with the way that door opens. It'd be kind of nice if we like hit Alt or something to show everything's hitbox without having to have things conflict for you to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you'd be able to better prevent a conflict. Is this hospital affiliated with Traction Park by any chance?
What's that?
What are the names for Action Park?
Oh yeah, Action Park.
The most infamously injury-tastic theme park in United States history.
Yeah. has to be attached to the wall.
Of course it does. 'Cause it's a traction bed.
Ooh, I might be able to, like, zigzag them.
Yes. Improved packing. Oh yeah, that looks legit.
That looks totally legit.
That's legitimate right there. Oh, that's not jank at all. Nope, it's fine.
Not even a little jank.
It's alright. Don't worry, physics won't notice.
Yo, I'm Little Jank. My new album drops on the 32nd of Smarch.
Worst weather happens during that month.
I wonder if I can.
Well, I guess it's a good corner for a radiator.
That's true. Let's put an extinguisher back here too.
Yep, that's great. Extinguisher all the way in the back of the room. The most convenient place for your extinguisher.
Play it right there. Now, can I fit one more traction bed?
If the fire marshal is watching, I'm sorry.
Right there. Yeah. Look at the plaster caster. Casts plaster faster.
I thought it was an X-ray machine. Okay. I'm sure one was faster. You'll never fit another.
Not in here now.
You'll never fit another. The 1952.
The year they were discovered.
What was will be.
What will be was. Wall monitor.
Lizard.
Every time.
It's a lizard that just watches your walls to make sure they're doing alright. Just keeps a couple of beady eyes on them. In case of the afflictions talk about. Kinda cute, really. I guess you might want to have, like, crunchies, munchies, and caffeine for the operating nurse, too.
Good idea.
That way they never leave their station. Never, ever.
I don't think I left enough room.
Can you put it in the other side of the room?
No.
That's super careful.
Hold on. Let me.
You can move the fire extinguisher to like a more reasonable place.
I can move that there.
Alright, but the nurse can't see it anymore.
Coffee maker. Sweet dispenser. No!
Now that can go over by the desk. Stop snapping the grid, you jerk. Yeah,
Nope.
come on!
Nope. Won't fit.
Can't fit, won't fit.
Erg.
You can do it if you move the fire extinguisher.
But the extinguisher is a thing that...
Oh, dang, it's got a similar footprint.
Yeah, plus it has to stick to a wall.
Ah! Somebody please get me a
Fire extinguisher and put me out.
Oh, I could do it with a little less fire. What? Ow!
Yes.
Weird.
Just enough room. It's just hidden between the traction beds.
Physics hates this room.
I
Physicists hate him. One hospital manager.
Now the real question is, will this actually work?
Yeah, I feel like as soon as the beds interact with each other, they should explode. But this isn't KSP. I'm not sure physics will get all that mad about this. It should.
Like, I'm mostly just worried about the nurse getting to the back of the room. I get, like, logically they should zigzag, but
You should ask Ray about it.
huh?
How did nurse get past this
Nope.
mess? Come on down to Temple Hospital. Our traction beds defy physics. You'd be healed far faster than you should.
Tumble on down.
So tumble on down, or take the convenient medevac copter.
Oh, hey, wait.
We've got a helipad right in front. For some
Also,
reason.
it's freezing. Oh no, wait. It's
You put a radiator in.
a radiator in. I need another one towards the front, though.
Like one says, to reach the end of the room, leap over the traction pads as if they were hurdles.
That's
This won't terrify
safe.
the customers at all.
Customers?
Patience.
Actually, wait, is there... Yes, that's better. Perfect.
Now everything's warm and the nurse gets cooked.
Is the nurse
Gotta
the
make
nurse
sure
a
your nurse is
goose?
well done. Nope, actually it looks like nurse is very comfortable. It's like a nice shade of decent.
A nice shade of decent. Okay, what other rooms am I going to want?
Let's see, you got a GP, you got diagnost, you got farm.
Don't have farm. Let's put the pharmacy on the other side here.
Farm, wood, words, you gotta have a staff room.
Ah, yeah, staff room.
Staff rooms are necessary to prevent infections. Don't want your staff getting infected.
Nope.
Coming down to the narrow hallways of Tumble Hospital. We're sure it will be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Hold on.
Sequent occupants.
What?
I think there was once a door there. See where the fence opens from the road and a sidewalk slams into the wall? Oh, there's more sidewalk. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's not sequent occupants. That's
I mean, it could be.
a weird walkway. There's not much sign of there actually having been a door there. It was just like outside. There's like a structural pillar there too. Big bin. It's a trash can that tells the time.
I should put a bin just out in the hallway here, too.
Throw your garbage in here, not elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, elsewhere's pretty far away.
Also, the QG won't like you if you throw your garbage in their home.
Mm-hmm.
Don't anger the cat people. They have knives.
Built in.
There's no such thing as an unarmed Khajiit. I hold the purple machine. What's it make? Purple. What's that? Is it grape flavored?
It's purple flavored. And I should probably have just like a ward board.
Because you're an egg cleavers. Ward door! Slap it on the ward floor! Losing power to the ward core!
Oh, really? There's like just barely not enough space there.
Bustin' rhymes like it's a ward chore!
Yeah. Dang.
Game, why you discourage efficient use of space? Why exactly?
Put that there.
There.
Put that there. Can I? Yes, they can sit across from each other. Okay, let's go ahead and have a third.
That's a lot of changing room for surprisingly few beds.
Oh, this place is getting bigger.
Ah.
Oh yeah, they need room to get in. Okay, let's see.
They have that big area at the foot of the bed for the nurse to check charts into.
Yep.
And room on one side of the bed for your patient to get in and out.
Oh, nope, that doesn't work.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Perfect.
Sugar and coffee.
I can keep on. Actually, no, I don't like that. That looks
It's a little
awful.
wasteful, yeah.
That looks terrible.
Looks like you hired a macaque to design that.
Oddly specific.
Not any monkey, a macaque. Rhesus macaque? Nah, just regular kind. Regular type?
Regular type.
Regular type macaque. Class 3 pooflinger.
Okay, that looks potentially somewhat better. Ah, good.
Better clearance. Much better clearance.
Better clearance.
two-point radio hosts.
Yeah.
Where are the questionable advertisements?
Oh, you know what? It might be because time hasn't actually started yet.
Oh, okay. You're just designing the hospital a year, like a year in advance or something.
Basically.
And they just like jump forward in time to the actual January 1st after it's all put together as well. There's a spoiler for you. Jesus dies in Endgame.
What?
What? Just some dippage from the Infinite Zone. SpaceX crammed 60 Starlink satellites into one Falcon fairing. That's as many as 6 10s. That's terrible. Flat satellites. How do you fit that many? Layers each with a pair of satellites in them. Thin satellites. Oh, that's the conflict.
Okay, what I can do now. Okay, if I extend it one thing longer here, I can fit. Two more beds over here.
That great savage. That's great savage.
Yep. Let's drop a radiator right here under the window.
Great savage.
And maybe another one right over here. Let's see how that looks.
The second radiator might work better next to the window at the end. Yeah, like basically where you have the cursor.
Yeah, except it'll conflict with the bed there.
Nope, a little to the left. Yeah.
Cool.
And maybe even slightly more to the left. For better warmth distribution.
Yeah, that looks good. There's the medicine cabinet. Just completely overlooked it. One of those in there, put a wall monitor in here, like right there. That's a good spot for that. And let's put a fire extinguisher in here too. All right. Let's put psychiatry over here.
Sandwich in the bathroom. No one wants me.
Now, does a fireplace
Why
actually?
is the fireplace seemingly not? Maybe it does. It should. I'm going to laugh maniacally if it turns out it's like a digital fireplace and doesn't actually produce any heat. That would be stupid.
I mean, I'd buy it. Believe it, rather. Oh yeah, I forgot to put a trash can in there. I'll do that in a minute.
for repressed memories.
Put them in the trash.
I didn't want.
Hey, it does provide heat. Good.
It would be so monkey-slappingly stupid if it didn't.
Yup.
Oh, it gleams red.
Well, yeah, that's
It's a
because.
heat production device.
Yep.
Neat. That's a big satellite constellation. The Starlink system apparently entails, in total, 4,409 communication satellites.
That's a lot. Sounds like a lot, anyway.
You'll have comms available everywhere on the planet. And he intends apparently to reduce latency. Because the fiber link that we use across the Atlantic,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there's also like, is there fiber link across the Pacific? I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, fiber links. Light doesn't travel at the speed of causality in most media. It's only able to go that fast in pure vacuum. In glass fiber, it's limited to about half speed. So you actually have significant delays across the pond.
Hmm.
However, if your switching is quick enough, you can get a lot faster by kicking your signal up to the satellite, which bounces to another satellite, that bounces back to the ground.
Interesting.
In the past, that would actually be much slower because switching wasn't that quick. But yeah, tech's evolved. Chips are horrifyingly fast. Because, you know, gigahertz, that frequency means billions per second.
Mm-hmm.
Which allows for some much quicker switching than was possible before. I was obviously 1,000 times faster than back when things measured in megahertz. And as for cooling, you're in space. It's not that big an issue. Have a couple of radiator fins.
From the radiator planet.
Spoiler, the radiator planet was a myth all along. We make all the radiators. Launches, that is. SpaceX is going to be raking it in if it works out. Rolling in it.
They could probably freak on you. Okay. Here we are. Oh yeah, they'll want a radiator.
Radiator go. Oh yeah.
There we go.
Daybreaker.
Yep.
Oh, the TV isn't getting anything. It's like
Yeah.
sad TV with snow.
Okay, they're all lined up. Set another radiator right there. Now I have room for one more thing right about here. Which I think I'll wait and do after I've been running for a little while. Because while there are still rooms I need to build, like rooms that I don't have, I don't know what the,
You might
I
not
also...
even get patience for some of those rooms.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yep.
And you may need to pull in some income before you have money to set those rooms up.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were down to 90k.
Yep.
Hospitals are expensive.
They sure are. Alright, Kimmy Knuckles. Inspiring. Suspicious of things.
That sounds like the name of a mafioso.
Kinda does. A mafiosa. Rich Grunt. Melanie Punia.
Oh, Pugwash. I just read that as Brangelina Backwash.
Ugh.
Like, ugh.
Brangelina, that's... Weak bladder. Startled by fog. Sure.
Fog's not startling, it just sits there. It doesn't do anything.
It just sits there. Mechanical meltdown.
Granted, fog shouldn't be able to look at you. If the fog is made of ice, that is very startling, I agree.
Yes. Eye fog.
Hey, nice room.
It's
Keep your chilled meats there.
just empty hallway. Nothing there yet.
Store jugs of milk.
And I guess let's hire Gerald Curtains. Thinks their life is a rom-com. Once bowled a 73. I'm sorry.
That's sad.
Yeah.
My record used to be 96, but then I obliterated it with, like, I assume competent adult powers or something.
I mean, I'm bad at bowling, but 73 is bad for me, even.
I don't remember if I made it to 200 plus, but I know I just I ended my old record. I know I bowled above 120 for sure.
And now, but my grandmother, my mom's mom, she once bowled a perfect game. She was a good bowler. This was long before I came along, though. I just have heard the stories.
Those weird stories that remind you that the adults in your life are human, even though you knew that. They remind you of the magnitude thereof.
Actually,
You hear old people go, "I was young once and did this stuff." Then later, when you're a little older, better understand it's like, oh, they, like everybody, have their own entire story. Full of similar weird crap and stuff they probably wouldn't want to admit today. Like one says, it's pronounced Wingardium Mafiosa. It's how wizards get rid of lobsters. Just float them up and drop them in the bay.
come on, injured people. Whoa, look at the curve. Just kind of... It resizes itself as I move.
Oh, it's dead fighting itself. Ooh, we can upgrade to Easy Skin.
Oh yeah, we need a janitor too. That would be good.
Absolutely necessary, in fact. You can't have a...
That would be why nothing was happening.
Wow, Allison!
Allison is good.
Maintenance powers are extraordinary.
Yeah, I don't care that you're expensive. I'm hiring you. Has potential. A quick learner that should develop. Plus 50% learning speed, but that doesn't really...
Yeah, that ability is actually useless for her. She's got... actually, can you respect people?
I don't know.
Because all her slots are full, so she can't learn anything new. But she's super good at maintenance. What about upgrading? Can she upgrade?
She's probably capable of it. She is not capable of it.
Oh. Well, no one that was in the list had mechanics.
No. Petra Eggnog.
Well, there's something else to be available in 4 days. Is this a teaching hospital? Like, will I be able to build classrooms?
I can build classrooms, but until then...
Why do you have someone wandering around the ice hallway?
Ingrid Goose knows how to ghost. I should probably go ahead and get her, maybe?
Yeah. Because until you get things upgraded, you're more likely to fail. Failures can be ghosts. Oh, wait, actually, I know. Leave her in there. Because I don't think she'll go anywhere, right?
I don't know.
She'll stay in the hireable pool.
Announcement.
And if someone does die, then you can act.
Hey, Helicoptera.
Oh, chopper has arrived. Oh, check it out. A bunch of cold air spills in, the door opens.
Huh, interesting. I missed
Weird.
that.
patient in for?
We will find out.
So what are you in for? What's your complaint, buddy? Psychiatric. Alright.
Ah, no, they have broken bones. So do they. Why are they walking in from down there?
Because the central door is for helicopters.
Oh, hey, I should put a bench over here.
That's not disturbing. You're walking along a hospital hall and all of a sudden, yep, there's a bench. It's convenient, but disturbing. At the very least, a little off-putting.
This is a general warning.
These dorks are just chilling. Literally. Hold in there.
Doctor needed in GP's office.
Like one says, you know, those stories that remind you of your relative, the stories that remind you that your relatives have superhuman bowling capabilities, and were once known far and wide as the terror of pins. Snapshot of the leather bowling jacket with the turtle logo. You're referencing something! And I don't know what.
Thanks to my leading role on Sommelier Over the Rainbow, I was invited this past weekend to an exclusive wine tasting at a magnificent mountain chateau. I shall not disclose the name of my host, nor of the other celebrated guests. Suffice to say, it was a pleasure to drink the 400-year-old vintages in their company, and to share an ambulance to the emergency room immediately afterwards.
Okay, fracture ward time. Let's see how this works.
Share an ambulance to the emergency room after tasting 400-year-old something. Oh, now you stop drinking? Give that man a crutch.
Okay, waiting on the GP again.
Yeah, the nurse has to zigzag.
Ooh, that may be space efficient, but it sure isn't time efficient.
Making coffee. What about the plaster? Is the plaster doing the thing?
Patients should leave the hospital before they catch something else.
He like got up and then sat down again.
Probably hire another nurse because another one's needed in there. Scotty Infinity! Oh, he'll be good to have in the ward. Aldo Debauchery. Angus Doom. These names. These names. Plus 50% teaching speed. Okay, I can't not hire him.
Nurse needed in general diagnosis.
Easy's getting it. Does it get 1 minute for herself? Why were they both so surprised at what came up on the monitor?
I don't know.
It seems to have done nothing, so. Okay, purple. That's. Maybe purple means it's a device that's thermally neutral?
You'd think it would just not show up, though.
Red clearly indicates heat generating devices. Are there heat absorbing devices that show up blue?
Probably like AC units.
Like one said, here in Fracture Ward, we believe in creating our own patients.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I've never seen anyone get out of traction that fast. That's unnatural.
Attention. Please don't look directly
This is
at the
getting into the
camera.
posture thing.
Oh, that's them getting out of the cast. It's a cast remover.
Ah, okay.
Portishead.
Body and mind. Chiefly caused by living in Portishead.
And he's headed to the ward. Awesome. That's where he should be. Because he is good at the ward.
Here's a patient to check into the ward. The confused patient is probably like, why are there a gumball machine in here?
I guess those are gumballs, maybe.
It calls itself a snack machine, but it looks like basically a gumball dispenser. Or maybe runs.
Sweet dispenser. I mean, it could be any kind of thing. It could be jawbreakers.
That's a terrible thing to have in a hospital. You have people like face tractions.
Face traction.
You got a letter. Little loose here.
Okay, I apparently need...
Body emergency.
Oh boy. Okay, let's go for it.
Arriving for the
Yeah,
fracture
humerus injury.
ward.
Hire another nurse. Sure, let's get someone who can pharmacize. Oh, I have another argumentative person though. I'm probably... Oh, they're all argumentative. What's more frequent breaks?
Semi-professional joker.
Okay, now let's hire you.
Boy, these helicopters, man. I love how they already have casts. Like this guy from Bummer.
Yep.
Oh, you have enough traction beds to process all 5 at once.
Except there's one person already here.
Zigzag nerd. That is a zigzag
Janitor.
animation.
They were coming through to water the plants.
Announcement. Plants need water.
Bogwarts. Pharmacy. Good thing I have one. Oh, and she needs a break. Unsurprising. Staff promotion. That was quick. Get those skills.
Doctor required in psychiatry.
Oh dear, we're assistants on break, and there are people lining up. Hire assistant. Now let's get Philip Bilk. Terribly dull,
Boring. Makes people bored.
but motivated, and the target of unrequited idolization. So he looks gorgeous, but there's not a lot going on up there, I guess. But he gets stuff done, can't argue with that.
You know what they say? Complete the task.
What?
Get her done.
Oh.
Oh, someone failed. Something somewhere. Hope it wasn't a fracture game.
I think it might have been.
It wasn't one of the fracture patients from the challenge.
No. Thankfully.
The world-renowned Cirque du Parfait is no longer under investigation. So come experience the magic, wonder, and terror of our glass-boned acrobats and face-eating clowns. It's a parfait day at the circus for everyone. More 2 Point, more often. This is 2
Face-eating clowns and glass-boned acrobats. Oh boy. I think I might need another GP office.
Oh, it's a turtle joke. Terrapins. Terror of pins. I get it now. Gotcha. It's all about them turds. Nature section coming.
What?
That's a UHF reference.
Don't remember that.
By the same guy who said, "Badgers, we don't need no stinking badgers."
Ooh, get a gold star.
It goes behind the filing cabinet where no one will see it change. There's cheese in the water.
Don't drink the water.
It's got cheese in it.
Doctor needed in GP's office.
Doctor needed in the doctor's office.
Yes, people who have
Upgrade.
mechanics. Bella Cardigan, Dottie Pard, has potential, motivated, green fingers. Yes, please. You are awesome. Higher. Drop right there. And upgrade to Easy Scan 2. Oh, I need a pot removal clinic.
Easy scan too. Analytical boogaloo.
I need a Pan's Lab. 4x4. Oh dear.
Pan's Labyrinth? No. Laboratory. What's wrong? Door.
Yeah, no, that's not what's wrong though. This completely cuts off the...
Oh no! Problem. Okay, need to move a room. Don't think that'll achieve what you need. That's you. Actually, could you put the pants on? No, wait, no, that don't work either. Hospital Tetris, begin! Do 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 do
Oh yeah, I still need to do things about the patients getting bored as well. Okay, well, that handles that room.
Oh, yeah, like, magazine racks, newsagents, stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, whoops. Nope, no.
Spin it!
You can win it in a minute if you spin it, spin it, spin it. Ah!
Ah! Boy, these room sizes are not conducive to a functioning hospital.
Not in this floor layout, anyway. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Nope.
Perhaps you made your ward bigger than it needed to be.
Perhaps.
I see this as a hospital that's definitely going to need more wings.
For sure.
Nope. Can you do that?
Can.
So radiators can just go wherever. I have a thermal comfort of 80%.
Oh wow, that threw everyone out of the room.
As it would.
I'm not usually one for suggestions. Wouldn't we cure some people? What an idea. Sure. Cure 10 patients. I think we can do that. Rooms. Pens lab. Much better. But given that Alright, let's build a news agent right here. Oh, and of course there's just this one little
This little mugging corner there.
mugging corner.
Where you could put a plant or a trash can or a vending machine.
Yeah, let's put
Vending
it.
machine fits. Yay, vending machine fits.
Palpitation. There's room for a bathroom right there. Let's get another bathroom. Don't know one.
Can you copy your other bathroom?
Possibly. No, not the cubicle itself. The room. Copy.
Oh, that's powerful.
It is.
That's potent. Suddenly, a bathroom springs fully formed from the forehead of Zeus. Why was Zeus thinking about bathrooms? No one knows.
He just really had to go. Trophy case, right there at the entrance. That's a good place.
I find newsagents so weird. Why is it called a newsagent when it appears to be selling teddy bears, canned snacks, bags of chips?
I don't know.
And what's with the circular thing? I don't understand any of this.
Is that a sign? Is that a... I don't know. Might be a coin.
It doesn't
Just
seem
say,
to
like,
sell
spend your money.
It's not selling any news.
It's got papers.
I thought that was a counter. Those papers?
Stacked on the counter, yes.
Like newspapers?
Yeah, see?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, just drop some plants in the corners.
Look at the hospital. We have plants.
I should probably put like a magazine rack around here.
Very nice and charged. So patients can just put them right in.
Yeah, that's where they go.
Because who needs magazines when everybody has a weird rectangle in their pants?
Oh no, there's not quite enough room. Maybe if I do like this.
Yeah, is that like the place to collect gold to the trash can?
Hey, there we go. Oh no, it's one of them. The I just realized I said that as I zoomed in on a black person.
Yeah, but we all know it's the friggin'
Yeah,
monster,
but oh no.
there used to be like a sealed monobrow ward. Anybody who thinks that monobrow to go into this part of the hospital doesn't connect with the other parts.
Anybody who thinks about monobrow.
Monobrow. It's like Vertigorn for your forehead. Don't think about it. In fact, try to avoid even knowing about it. You definitely don't say its name out loud like I did.
Yeah, way to go.
Yeah, it's like I said Aster or anything. Or, you know, Lantern James.
Okay. Probably good for the moment, I hope.
Yeah, just keep an eye on that brown doofus. Make sure nothing comes off.
No, someone was cold. Yeah, this hallway would be kind of cold. Why are people just standing around there?
This
I
is
should
2 Point
probably...
Radio with Ricky Hawthorne. And if you're feeling a bit
Radio.
under the weather, you're in luck, because my voice is the best medicine. Unless you're really sick, in which case you should go to a hospital.
Oh yeah, that's like the ice hallway that's
Mm-hmm.
old.
There.
That's good. Fix that. Unless there's
No,
other-
they're talking about hiring more doctors.
Oh, okay.
Which I should, but wow, I am...
Bro,
Yeah.
need to break it in for a bit first.
Yep.
Nurse needed in general diagnosis.
Hey, wait, where's the last fracture patient? There's no one else?
Fracture patient, I think, is standing.
Hey, cool.
They were finishing up at the plaster remover.
Yay, cured. 5 out of 5.
And got a precious 20k.
Indeed, I can afford a new doctor. Just what I always wanted.
Haven't you always wanted a doctor?
Hey, Florence Masterstroke. Dances like tomorrow is a real possibility.
As Gringers. Wait, so a doctor waters the plants so the janitors don't have to?
Yeah, if they're not doing anything.
That's true.
Yep, that's what the green fingers trait means.
It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. And she is only marginally more expensive than him, and has lots of good stuff. Does he have something really good? High energy, works longer before needing a break, and entertainer. Okay, high energy is good, but yeah, all of that stuff. Let's get you. Oh, there's already someone in there.
What are they doing, Popin?
Well, no, they're just starting to take over there so she can go do something else.
Only beginning. Oh, have you upgraded your character?
It is in the process. Oh, yes. Yes, I have. It's in the process.
It says you can upgrade it again.
No, it says I can upgrade the drug mixer.
Oh, neat.
That's where I put it. Uh-oh, they're gonna die.
Power up.
And in today's
First,
news, a group
gotta
of
slink
Cocoa
out
Bay
into the hallway.
residents are staging a protest against the planned development
An
of a permanent bouncy castle.
Are they going to haunt me?
Believes the money would be better spent on building a bouncy
Ghost.
pirate ship instead.
Yep. Okay.
Yep,
I
we
need
got
to.
Ghost.
I need to hire a Ghostbuster.
You got
Wait,
Teresa Kunk and Robert Guff available.
Hold on a sec.
Give me
Yeah,
a
neither
Guff.
of them had
Yeah, you
Ghost.
hired a Ghostbuster, yeah.
I didn't think I had,
That's
but
my recommendation. Oh my god, let's wait till someone dies. Then summon a Ghostbuster. That's a high stamina Ghostbuster. It's good at teaching.
yeah. And learning. Yeah, let's get Teresa Kunk. Terribly dull and nasty, though. But she is a janitor, so she's not, like, dealing with patients, so that might be okay.
Unavoidably replaceable. Seems impressive from a distance.
Okay, let's get Teresa Kunk. She is skilled.
The hospital may well be haunted.
Get down to Ghost.
Ghost Lord.
Rival executive now
Captured
approaching
mini
hospital.
Oh, rival executive and CEO of Holistics
Augustus Lavender.
is arriving at the hospital. I need to go record my life. I'll be right back.
What are we to do about this Augustus Gloop Lavender person? Do we need to lay traps for them? That feels like the thing to do. I think we should lay some traps. Would be dwarven consultants? I hear spinning metal discs are effective. The corkscrews are better for destroying around. Nothing like giant glass corkscrews to terrify your enemies. Because in the end, no one wants to steal a giant glass corkscrew. Not even a wine taster.
Oh, he doesn't want to be held.
I think I had a question first.
Oh, stay put, Vince.
Yeah, I didn't have a question.
It's okay.
It's okay, wait.
Oh, yay. Maybe he wants brush?
That's a possibility. Is that anything for that?
Hurdy leg. Requires a fracture ward. Caused by excessive physical activity.
Hurdy leg. That's
Hurdy
different
leg.
from like broken leg.
That's probably all it is. That's just the name they have for it.
Because we've already had people come into fractures.
Yes, but it was a humorous injury.
Then why did they have casts on their legs? I mean, some had it on their arms, but I'm not sure this is necessarily what he wanted, but he'll take it.
Nurse wanted on the ward.
There's not a nurse in the ward.
Look at that belly flop.
Yeah, with narrow hallways like this, it's probably best to have even more top down. Marnie Beer.
You got a little bit of cat dander going on. Yes, you do.
Oh no, hangry and unhygienic. No thanks. Dan Funkel, a natural mentor, plus 50% teaching speed. Crystal Cucumber, wants more money and nasty, and thinks cartons are bad. Let's go with Dan Funkel.
Maintenance announcement. Bins will become full.
Oh no, it's someone with a light bulb head, and I don't have that.
Deluxe clinic.
Yeah, I don't have a deluxe clinic. Okay. Oh, and that's going to cost like most of the money that I have to build to make more room. $30,000, $30,000, $40,000, $40,000. Okay, well, I gotta put it somewhere, so. You might need a loan, but
How's this?
pandemic. Yep, Pan's Lab.
Yep. Has really just now been discovered. We already really treated people for it.
No, we haven't. I just spotted someone with a pan on their head.
Oh, okay. There's a good 4K.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I died in the pharmacy.
Doctor wanted in Pan's Lab.
And they ghost.
And ghost.
They ghost now. And they bust.
It runs straight into the buster. Silly ghost.
Staff promotion. And monobrow.
And the wings ready.
Yay.
That's 35K to put around together.
I can do that. the extract pan. Oh, between patients.
Traction point.
Oh, hey, I should be a radiator in here.
I'm just so troubled by that traction point.
Maybe also an extinguisher. What? We didn't manage to cure 10 patients? Man. Lightheadedness.
Hey, really? We've cured 17.
Yeah, overall, not in 90 days.
I'm guessing the patients weren't coming in quick enough.
Yep.
It looks like the band's lab can be upgraded.
Yep, it is being upgraded currently.
That should stop it from killing its first patient.
It already had its first patient.
Did they live?
Yes.
Deluxe clinic calling doctor.
Because those tier 1 machines, yeah, the best track record.
That's true. You hush your mouth. Augustus Lavender from Holistics reportedly scattered some of his special homemade compost in the hospital grounds as he left. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds a bit weird. Okay. Well, +8 rep.
Is that a form of sabotage? Or poop?
Uh-oh. 5 patients with humorous injuries.
Relocated out to sea! Whew. How many you gotta deal with?
5.
Done.
Patients arriving for the fracture ward.
I'll get 10k out of it, but
Mm-hmm.
I think you still
10k
get-
rep.
I think you still get paid for the individual cures too.
Kudosh.
10k is like bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that guy paid off 6 just for a normal fracture.
Assistant wanted in reception.
After these 5 are done, you may want to have someone there maintain the plasticizer. Because it's been used a bunch.
No, it's fine.
It's doing fine for now. Cool. Hit it with a wrench, hit it with a wrench. He's no longer hitting it with a wrench. Where'd he go?
I don't know.
That odd
Bathroom?
chap, Augustus Lavender, CEO of
Probably on break.
Holistics, was seen stepping into
Or maybe they're
20's
on their way
hospitals
back from
today.
break.
Rumor has it he had a suitcase
You're
full
out
of
of
his
energy.
wonderful
Take break.
wellness candles with him.
Did you
Never
prefer to
want
do
to miss a
anything
chance to
wrong?
make a sale,
looks
is
like
old
it.
Lavender.
7 days. Oh, I need more doctors.
Breaks are acceptable. Recoup your strength is cool. Oh yeah, your TPs are insufficient, it was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes a new set challenge.
No!
All right, never mind. I hate this. Also, I realized it's only the thermometer or something.
Earn 100,000. Well, no harm done in failing. So,
In 90 days, with the 5 special fracture patients to deal with, that stands as a maybe. Could potentially do it.
Ribby, don't do that.
But she wants to. Oh,
Well, she shouldn't.
you're in it. Yeah. The box back in the box. See you next episode. Thank you. She just likes to know she can go in there.
Uh-oh. Seismic activity.
Damage our machinery.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Oh no. Back to beating of a wrench.
Warning. Seismic activity detected.
It's a chunk of the building.
Yep.
Well, there's plenty for the...
Maintenance required in GP's office.
Oh, it's crowded.
Oh wow, there's stuff that's like falling down everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the plaster caster got damaged. I see someone hitting it with a wrench.
Fine now, though.
He finished hitting it.
Maintenance announcement. Plants need water.
And someone needs to get to the deluxe clinic. This poor sod's just sitting there freezing.
Inspiring tires easily. Class clown, a natural mentor. What does inspiring do again? Inspiring. Well, let's get Jezebel Tiger. Hire her, drop her right in there so we can treat that.
Doctor wanted in Hans Lab.
Doctor needed in GP's office.
Splap. There's not even one in 10.
They just got here. There's a doctor there. Okay, good. Ooh, and 17 people awaiting GP.
Okay, more doctors.
What do your current doctors do? Maybe just like somewhere in... What do they do?
2 of them are on break.
Ah.
One of them's almost off break.
Okay.
I should probably go ahead and get another doctor for just the sake of
Prevention.
dirty habits. Makes the hospital dirty. Well, I do have more, It does tell me that I have more janitors than I need, so...
Yeah, plus she's cheap and a good GP.
Potty Mouth Pharmacy, okay.
Water from the toilet, sink, or toilet. Toilet sink. You know, where you pour the toilet into.
No.
Just pour the toilet down the toilet sink. It'll be fine. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Fine.
It'll be fine.
Okay, as soon as this emergency is over, I'm moving the fracture ward over here.
Where there's more room for it.
Yeah.
To be.
Uh-oh.
Jeez. Here's some bad medicine.
Oh, and there's a ghost. Damn it.
It's fine. Ghostbuster is en route. Here we go.
Good, good.
GPQ is shrinking.
Nurse to general
Would one of you
diagnosis.
kindly go to the other GP where there's someone waiting?
There's GPs in both of them.
There are! And I noticed that the other doctor was, like, hanging out at her desk waiting for someone to show up. Everybody's hanging out by the other office. Stop!
Guess I need more benches.
Yeah, the special fracture patients have failed, thankfully, but I'm hearing a lot of fails.
Benches have stenches.
That person had a potty emergency.
We're close to award season.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not going to be great.
It's your first year. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. How much will it suck? Let's find out.
Derek Curves.
Take a nurse.
Scotty Infinity. Also Scotty Infinity. Tumble. Definitely not getting the No Deaths Award.
Nope, you get the big grand reward, I'm sure.
The Orb Foundation.
For absolute slaughter of patients.
And we haven't been teaching
Yeah,
anybody,
no,
so...
Patient's choice? Probably not. I saw him looking angry.
Ballistics.
Prestigious? Heck no, this place is brand new. It's a hole.
The Orb Foundation.
Yeah, the extractor pack can be upgraded. That's great.
Hey.
Oh, needed that. Oh, the cash.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how you got cash for earning a bunch of cash for that. Not complaining.
Oh, no, that's not what the cash was for. The cash was from, the awards.
Oh, okay.
The challenge was just 20% happiness and some kudosh, I think. Yay. Another 20k from that challenge. There's someone in there right now, but they can make their way back to the thing. Edit room. You know what? I am going to make this less dumb than it is.
Yeah, you're gonna put an end to the angry physics.
Mm-hmm. Actually, let's... No, that's not what I was trying to pick up.
Now the hosts have cooked that plant. Six pack.
Yay. Just make the place look nicer, you know? Wait, no? What?
Wasn't that?
I'm not sure. I don't see anything.
Disappeared. Those are still there, that's still there.
you know what? It might have been something from where I took it
Oh,
instead. Something that was on the outside of the room. Oh, sure, there was like a poster there or something. That's right.
and you just left it afloat.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the nurse that was working.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just scoot him?
Yep.
Save him the energy. Nice. If only you could do the same for the patient.
Yeah.
What's the ass? You're supposed to just kind of stand there looking stupid. And that's fun for now.
Would you grab me one as well?
My class.
Orange soda. Thank you.
Try Diet Gingerade.
They're good. Thank you.
Diet Gingerade.
Ginger. Ah.
That sounds like an explosive weapon used by Scottish troops. They're Irish troops. I shouldn't be surprised that ginger ale is pressurized. But that was some pepper. I hope it's not as acidic as it tastes. Not a significant source of sap, fat, trans fat, cholesterol, fiber, total sugars, added sugars, Vit D, calcium, iron, and potassium. You know, if you guys really need to save room, you could just use the elemental symbols.
Yeah, but do people know those?
Cool people. Granted, it wouldn't really save them much space. And they shrink down calcium and iron decently. The calcium and iron does become K, become Ca, Fe, and K. Not a significant source of the letter K. Brought to you by the Children's Television Herp Derp Shop. I can see the sinks. Seems 1% lemon juice. Gratuitous Penguin's office. Gratuitous Penguin sounds like a Twitch user.
Yeah, it kind of does. There we go. That's better.
It would have been much funnier if we actually had someone named Gratuitous Penguin in chat.
Well, I mean, we have someone named Penguin around from time to time.
Had anyone believe in gratuity?
Probably?
Why is someone spring leaping out of that office there?
Because it just got redone. And so they're being hurled out of it as space changes around them. And yeah, there are things.
Oh, I hate these little jerks. I hate them. Why is there never actually a secure container around to keep them from escaping? I've
Right?
never seen them not escape. Oh, now they leave brown, horrible brown miasma from their corpses. So
Yep.
gross. I hate them.
Actually, wait, let's... Are you sneaking?
Not sure what blazes up in there.
Okay, we have another space I can do something with right there.
Come on, patience. There's a giant cube for the room. Just go in and use it. What is happening?
There was a ghost.
Oh. New things coming in.
Staff promotion. And I misread that promotion from junior assistant to assistant. I saw something about assistant.
Second assistant. Space whale scrubber. For all those crudgules and nudgules. Body Mark 2. Yeah, at least you can upgrade that to 3. Yep.
Yep. Before I do that,
No. You're like, I'm gonna put this here. Like, no. That won't work at all.
yeah, that'll be fine for now. No, no. And imagine if I could...
Copy the back.
upgrade the toilet stalls. What would that even mean?
I am the old Porta-John Mark II.
What was with that voice?
It's twice as shit.
Oh,
I don't know, I'm just going for like gristly Bronxman. What the hell's going to term?
Okay, well, cancel that.
Can't screw with that door.
Let's move that temporarily. Just get it out of the way. There. Now copy the restroom. Put that right there.
And there's no problem.
Yes.
What problem? Who said there was a problem? Nobody said anything about a problem. What are you talking about? Problems.
Nope, nope. Whole room, please. There.
Hey.
Hurge. Now this hallway is narrow, but this is more of like a specialty wing over here.
Yeah, you're not gonna need a whole lot of traffic capability.
Yeah.
Except for maybe to the attraction ward because of the nature of this place. But that's not a problem because that's where all the space is.
Mhm.
Right in front of the door to the attraction ward.
Exactly.
So it's no problemo. Oh, yes. It's warm. Right there. And only dumb people would be wandering past that point, so you don't really need to warm the area to the... I think that might be south?
I don't know.
I've completely lost track of where in the Blue Blazes zone is. Oh, yeah, that looks decent.
Mm-hmm. What does it look like if I drop a radiator right here? Okay. Maybe I can move this one down the hall just a little bit. Like hell, we have too many janitors.
You're wrong, game. We have roughly the right amount of janitors. If any of them are idle, that means it's time to upgrade something. But first, splat. Splat. Projector. Can you upgrade?
It can. Also, I should get another GP's office.
Is 2 at a time not enough, or are you still just working off that pile?
I think 2 at a time is not enough because this pile generated just kind of on its own. This will just need to go somewhere else. Right there.
Get out of here, phone. Why would a generic pangolin need a phone?
Why would a generic pangolin need a phone?
A GP.
Oh,
Yeah, gratuitous penguin.
okay. I thought I had just misheard you in a comical way.
And my brain just slammed lamp and weighing scale together into lamp weighing scale.
Yes, gotta weigh that lamp.
How much does that weigh? Lamp.
Railgun.
Belch. Whale gun.
Not in Oklahoma. That's illegal.
Very true. Also donkey bathtubs. Unpermitted. Which is fair enough. Bathtubs have like curved lower corners and donkey hooves. You just get a badly injured donkey in short order.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cruelty to animals.
Two of them are looking for work. Well, they will have work now.
You also can't hitch an alligator to a parking meter.
Hmm.
That's distressingly specific. And the reasoning for it is beyond stupid. Or not the reasoning, but the reason. I think some celebrity just did something, had an alligator, and it was like a hazard.
Patients are reminded to avoid death when possible.
Okay, so I need a training room now. Which, actually, let's see, what other rooms are needed currently. Okay, so the clown clinic is the only one I don't have, but I haven't seen anybody with the what is the chest infection?
I was gonna say clownitis, but that makes far more sense.
Okay.
Prestige level 2 just by having 6 desks.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. 8 desks.
8 is a good number.
You can do 9 if you move the door, but 8'll do.
8'll do, pig. Oh, thank you.
Oh, you can't fit another desk. My bad.
No.
Door has record. Oh yeah, you can if the door went to the front of the room.
Ah, yeah.
That's what I was thinking to begin with, but I forgot that's what I thought. Whoops. Yeah, there you go.
Put the door right there, midway between things, which I hadn't seen it allow before. Let's put... Oh, that leaves no room for the display skeleton, though.
Ah, final door.
That is the most important part of all, and I don't think I'm going to need more.
Yes,
Those
I'm here for
anyway.
a skeleton as a travesty. You gotta have a skeleton.
Yeah. The anatomy model is smaller. Put that in that corner.
And posters go on walls.
Indeed. Stop.
Ginger ale. Only root beer is worse. Whiteboard where math doesn't work correctly. I wonder how Logan would feel if he knew that I was perpetuating that silly meme with his.
Dressed as a pencil sharpener. Poached eggs in space. An incredibly photorealistic depiction of some people. Unknown, origin unknown. A painting of a dog. Maybe it's a famous dog. Framed sportswear. A genuine shirt prestigiously framed behind glass. Hothouse canvas, valley canvas, holly wreath, fir tree. That's expensive.
It's wearing black tie. Hey, notice this board. Oh, the notice board actually does more than just increase attractiveness, actually. It's changed. What's it do?
And room prestige.
Bookcase reduces board.
Here.
I don't understand having a bookcase in a classroom reduces boredom.
Well, it wouldn't in there. Alright, build room.
You preemptively get in that room there, Remy?
Grr.
Kill! Where's it going anyway?
It probably doesn't even know.
It had no place to go from there.
You can upgrade the Deluxe.
Neat!
I've only got one janitor that can upgrade though, and
They're busy.
yep.
Upgrading that thing.
Maintenance announcement. Automated snack machines need restocking manually.
Well, they're not very automated, are they?
Not right now.
676! Yay! The queues are... Well... Actually, it's even more total, but, the individual queues are shorter. Yeah! Look at that throughput.
Nurse to the pharmacy.
Clothed, fed, and ready to go, I'll listen to my show from the day before to focus my craft. I take extensive notes in a shorthand of my own devising before shredding them and filing the remains. I find it's important to have your own creative process.
One more.
Hey!
Oh, wait. Cancel that. Yes.
Yes, Mark. The door needs to go outside. That interferes with the radiator, Roman. From the radiator plant.
Hey, wait, did I forget a radiator in that room? I think I may have.
Is it cold?
Stop disappearing. Yes, that room is cold. Let me put a radiator in there.
If you like to put a radiator in it.
There. Now you can comfy.
Thermal comfort of 83%. Honey pork. And Vivian sweetener.
Litterer. That's
Nasty.
nasty. No, you have some good abilities,
She
but
is surplus ants.
dirty habits. More soup than sandwich.
What does that mean?
Has some regrets. Let's get Sue's boffin. Less terribly dull but positive. Now let's get Sue's boffin. Drop you in there. One more bench right there.
Heavy duty bench.
Jazz hand. Skin burns resulting from prolonged exposure to acid jazz. Okay, well, our ward is well...
Oh, it's actually looking a little warm right there.
Oh, so it is.
There we go.
Actually, it's pretty chilly right over here. Let's,
Oh, the classroom doesn't have a radiator.
Of course.
It's a cold room.
And they say it gets colder. I need more assistance. People are queuing for things run by assistants? Where? I don't see these places you speak of. Oh well.
What are you talking about? The main desk or the news agent? What's the assistants run?
Another radiator right over there. And some more benches right over here. Benches are up. There. Actually, that might be one more than I need. Trash. Why is there trash? I guess because there wasn't a bin nearby. I guess I should place another bin right about there.
Never mind, there's a bin right over there on the other side, right? Easy sides.
No, wait. That's an idea. 'Cause, yeah, that one was right there because there were vending machines right along here. Now the vending machines are down there, so that is not quite as convenient anymore. I get it. Stick a clock right about there. This is a busy hospital.
Its corridors are narrow.
Maintenance announcement. Toilets need routine servicing.
Uh-oh. Someone died.
Somewhere. There. And ghost.
And ghost.
Looks like the Deluxe claimed its first victim.
Oof. Yeah, money is getting kind of low. I spend a little freely there, I think. But I'm going to be processing so many patients now. All the GPs.
Treatment has failed. I'm sorry to say, a patient is dead.
Oh yeah, lots of money. Look at that.
I saw someone in the bathroom who looked like he had just been waiting too long. He had a low health indicator.
Hmm. Okay, well anyway, now that since that monetary crisis or fiscal
Immediately undid itself.
fiscal crisis averted, I didn't want to leave myself with that going into next time and just like panic myself. So let's go ahead and call it a night. Thanks for watching, everybody. Daniel and I will be back on Thursday with something. We shall see what. And then next Saturday we should be Bahamut Lagoon. That's probably what we'll be continuing next week. So, thanks again. Hope to see you all next time.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.